Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hoffmann Homestead. If you've been here before, awesome, glad to have you back. And if you've not been here before, welcome. Like, comment, subscribe, hope you stick around. We're gonna check out some plants today because we've got some great seedlings going. It's still very early. If you have not started your seedlings, do not panic. I just have some lettuce going because I'm gonna try to grow some early and see how it goes. And if it fails, we're gonna learn something from it. And then I've got something kind of exciting going on with my lemon tree, so let's take a look at it. Let's check this guy out first. First of all, I got this lemon tree as a 4-inch pot from Stark Brothers Nursery. Amazing. It's a Meyer lemon, and honestly, it was doing kind of rough there for a minute. It can't be outside, of course, because it's a citrus and it just gets far too cold here. I'm in central Illinois, zone 5B, pretty close to 6A. So it's too cold for it to be outside, which means it's inside, and y'all, it's just gloomy all the time. So it doesn't get a whole lot of sun. We put it under this grow light maybe 2 weeks ago, and look at what is popping up. Oh my goodness. I can't even. So we've got some new leaves going. I'm looking out to make sure that we don't have any lemons trying to bud because this thing is still far too small for me to be comfortable with it growing fruit. But that's just incredible. At one point in time, I honestly thought that this guy was just going to be toast and it was going to be my own fault because I am not good at taking care of plants in containers. But we've got great signs of life. We've got some new growth. I'm excited. Me and this tree are we're gonna go places. All right, check out some other seedlings we've got going on. Over here, you can see our arugula. It's doing fantastic, just nice thick leaves. A lot taller than the other lettuces that we're seeing. I mean, it's not a lettuce, it's an arugula, but fantastic. Lots of great germination. Directly to the left is our rosemary. And while I thought something was going on with it, I must have killed them. So we're going to try rosemary again. It's not doing a whole lot right now, but that's okay. We're learning. And then next we have a freckles romaine. As you can see, there are in fact freckles on our lettuce leaves, and that is just absolutely precious to me. I love it so much. It's absolutely adorable. Directly next to that is our black seeded Simpson. This is kind of not really a crunchy lettuce, it's something else. So I don't know how I'm going to enjoy it, but we're going to give it a shot. Freshly grown lettuce, I'll be honest with you, doesn't taste a whole lot different than like store-bought lettuce. Like, it's not like a tomato. It is what it is. It's a lettuce. It's a leaf. So we'll see what that does. Then in these cells, we've got a mix. So we've got a couple different lettuces that are popping up to include what looks to be, honestly, it looks like my 4 Seasons lettuce over here when it's grown, but adorable. I love it. Directly next to that one, we've got this little dude. That is an iceberg. So not a whole lot of germination on this cell tray in this row. I will say that the seeds that I used were fairly old. I do see some of them are like fuzzy trying to pop up, but I mean, I'm not too heartbroken by them. They were iceberg lettuce, so I can always give them another round and just sow them pretty heavy. Then we have our 4 Seasons, which you can kind of see some speckling on these leaves as well. These are a beautiful lettuce when they're full size, like just gorgeous. Some purple thrown through there. I love it. Then this sad row is Paris Island romaine. You can see a couple seeds that were surface sown there that just did nothing. So nothing going on with this one. I think they were also fairly old seed packs. And when I say old, I mean they were like 4 years old. And to be frank, I didn't take very good care of them in the first couple years of their life. So it's quite possible that those are just toast seeds now, and that's my own fault. Then in this row, we have some spinach. Now it's just a classic spinach. You can see some nice leaf action going on here. This one is stuck in its shell, but I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna let it fight its way out and show me how tough it is. And then we have 3 rows of asparagus, y'all. They're not doing a thing. I even came back in and surface sowed the rest of my asparagus seeds, just hoping to see something that I could then bury. But my asparagus is doing nothing. Likely, again, my own fault. These were also very old seeds, so we may be getting some, I don't know, we may be getting some of those from the store. We'll see if they do anything. I just re-sowed those only a few days ago. So yeah, there's our seedlings so far. Ooh, this part of the tray looks so much better than the other part. We're just gonna leave it there. Okay, so let's get to the fun part of today. We are about 12 weeks out from my last frost date, again here in central Illinois, zone 6B. So it's time to start a couple more things. We started the lettuces, asparagus, and rosemary at 14 weeks, which we will restart some rosemary because that didn't go so well. And 2 weeks late is better than not at all. I don't want to buy rosemary at the store. I've already blown out my budget this year on seeds. So we are going to start today some artichokes. This is from Botanical Interests. They were fantastic. They had a crazy sale last year towards the beginning of the season. And I got a lot of stuff to include artichoke. So I want to grow 2 of these plants. They will not be perennial for me, but I will be able to grow them as an annual. And if I start them soon enough, 12 weeks before last frost, they should have time to come to fruition and get me some fruit off of them before my first frost date later this year. So pretty excited about those. We're going to start 2 of those. And we are going to start some more yarrow. If you don't know about yarrow, yarrow is a really great medicinal plant. I did grow some from seed last year, and it's supposed to be perennial. We'll see what happens. So yeah, we're going to start a couple more of these for the tea herbal medicine beds. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to get some soil tucked in a bucket and get that moistened, and then we'll walk through that. Okay, so I've got a bin with some dirt in it. I've got some of my containers ready to go. I've got some water ready to pre-moisten my soil, and I've got tags. So I think we're ready to go. First off, I'm going to go ahead and create a couple tags for what I'm going to grow today. I want 2 artichokes, which I'm going to put these on, some more permanent tags, because I do plan on growing them year after year. And who doesn't love to save a couple tags? And then we've got yarrow, and we'll do 2 of those. And I'm going to write myself another tag for rosemary, because we're going to start some more of those again. Okay, so I think we're good on the tags. We can go ahead and get started on our soil and on our seeds. So we will do another video all about the different types of seeds. Right now I only have a few to start, but we'll go through and start, peppers, tomatoes, some cucumbers, just a bunch of different seeds. You can kind of see all of them and what that looks like. And we'll get our hands dirty together for that one. This is going to be an intro to it. If you've never started seeds before, I highly recommend it. It's, first of all, so much cheaper. Second, it's such a great learning experience. And third, it is the best thing in the world when you see a tiny little lettuce come out of the soil knowing that you put just the smallest of seeds in the ground and you took care of it long enough for it to figure its thing out. It's just the greatest thing. But, you know, of course, that's not for everybody. I know that there are some expenses that go into that, including seed starting supplies. If you do buy seeds, or I'm sorry, seed starts, feel free to save your containers. Just because you need to go buy plants this year doesn't mean that in future years you can't start seeds if you wanted to. You know, you can start out small. But as you can see here, I've got some, you know, Bonnie plants from years past that I'm going to use to start my own seeds at home. So definitely use what you can. It doesn't have to be a huge expense to get into it. All right, so my soil is a little moist already, but it's not quite where I want it to be. You kind of want it to like stay in a ball when you squeeze it, but not let water out. It's almost doing that. It really wants to. Whenever I'm starting seeds, I do not get a seed starting mix. I'm open to disagreements on that, but I use a potting mix because there are more nutrients in it, and I don't have to come through and feed it after the fact. I'll be quite frank with you guys, I am quite the lazy gardener. I love to do it, it's fantastic, but I don't want to sit there and babysit it and have to feed it. I want the soil to do that for me. So I use a potting mix. That does mean that it comes with larger chunks of things in it. I will go ahead and take those and move them to the side. There's nothing saying I won't let them sit on the bottom of this container, but towards the top where my seed is trying to get through, I'm going to try to make that as loose and fluffy as realistic. So I'm going to go through this potting mix and just get some of those really large chunks out just to give my plants a better, easier start. Okay, well, I think that's about as good as I'm willing to make it. You know, it's never going to be perfect, but that's okay. I am going to wet this a little bit more. It's almost holding its shape, but it's still crumbling just a little bit too much. So I want it to be a little bit wetter than it is right now. I've got some pretty dry chunks in there too. So we're going to come in with some water and just mix that up. I don't even care that this is inside. Having my hands in the dirt is just amazing. It just feels right. This is what God put us on the earth for, to get dirty. Okay, let's check it. It's holding its shape a little bit better. I still want it to be a little bit wetter than that. I am making a mess. I can hear the moisture in it. Okay, that's about what I want. I think that'll be perfect. Now let's fill up some pots. Okay, we've got some pots with our soil in them. I think we're ready to put some seeds in there. Oh, I got dirt all over my seed packets. Let me go wash my hands. Okay, we're back. So first off, we're gonna start with our artichoke. This is the Green Globe Improved. All right, so our seeds came in a second pack. That's interesting. I'm here for it. And this is what they look like. Not too small, not too big, but there they are. Got a decent amount in here too. That's what's up. Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 in each of our containers because I want to make sure that they germinate, because I don't have a lot of time if they did not germinate now. Because these take 150 to 180 days, I only have 160 days in my growing season, and that's on a good year. So we're not taking any chances. We're gonna pop 2 in here. And of course, if both pop up, we will just pinch one off. So they're at the top of my soil right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put them down a little bit. A good rule of thumb is you want the seed under the soil about twice as wide as it is. And then you cover it up with a little bit of soil there. And then we're set on our first artichoke. And we'll do the same thing with this one. Just push it down in there and cover it up. And there we are. And now we'll hope for the best. So let's do the same with our yarrow seeds. Now these are much smaller seeds. I have just a ton in my hand right now, and they're pretty tiny. So we're gonna do a good little sprinkle and just kind of surface sow these. Because of how small they are, we're not gonna put soil on top of them. Much like with lettuce seeds or other really small seeds, you may just wanna put them on the top and then, you know, give them that room to move around because they don't have a ton of energy stored in their tiny little seeds. Okay, so now we're going to give them a little bit of water to set them in place, give them a good drink, and then we're going to cover them up with a humidity dome and let them sit under our grow lights. So a little ghetto maybe, but I have a body armor bottle and I just poked a bunch of holes in the top because this is fantastic. So this is what I'm using. So I can just shake it over a couple times, give them a good drink. I don't have to completely saturate it since I pre-moistened the soil. So I'm just giving them a good drink before I tuck them away. And of course we can't forget our plant tags because I'm not gonna remember what's in here without one. All right, so those seeds are started. They are chilling here with their humidity dome. They're currently under a light, though they don't need it to germinate. Unlike rosemary, most things don't need light to germinate. They just need heat and water. So we gave it the water. I've got a heater in here keeping it nice and toasty because it is still frigid outside. Don't love that. But they will sit under here, and once they are above the soil, then they'll have the light ready to go for them. So that's it for today. Keep your ear out for another video next week. We'll have some updates on how to build the garden beds that we're going to be putting in for ourselves. So we'll catch you guys next week, and thanks for stopping by.